Hi everyone, my name is Professor Gulia. You can call me Professor G if you would like. Professor, really whatever you want. I wanted to just give everyone a very quick video to set up the course for us. I know that everyone has the pretty quick overall introduction to me. You have the video introduction just on the Canvas homepage. But I wanted to give just some very quick information about how this course is set up and what it's going to look like. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because this is a really weird semester. We have so much going on in the world with the quarantine, with COVID-19, with everything else. So I want to just kind of give everyone a heads up about what this course is going to be like. And I also want to just give, as I go along, just a couple of tips that you can keep in mind, because ideally, we're all going to do exceptionally well in this course, but one of the things that you can do is to just be in touch with me. So I'll give you some quick tips as we go along. So the first thing I want to say, just to kind of set things up, and I mentioned this already, please keep in touch. If you look at Canvas, you will see that at the very top of the home page, there is information about emailing me and signing up for text messages. I highly recommend that everyone do this. If you send me an email, odds are I will respond within 24 hours. If it's a weekday, I will respond within 24 hours. If it's a weekend, I probably will. It might be a little bit more if it's a weekend, but in general, I will respond within 24 hours. Now, if you have to know an answer to a question before then, send me a text message. There's a very quick set of instructions on Canvas for doing this. It allows us to text each other. You can ask me questions. I can respond directly to you and only you. We can do this through texting without swapping phone numbers. So I will never see your phone number. You will never see my phone number. So it's entirely private, and it allows us to be in touch. So if you send me a text, odds are I'll get back to you within a couple of hours. It is very common that I get back to you immediately, it just depends on what I am doing at that individual moment. So I highly recommend signing up for the text messaging service and just learning my email or adding it to your directory, your email directory. The other thing you can do, which is even easier, is if you go into Canvas and you click on Inbox, you can message me directly through there. So be in touch. It makes everything much, much easier. Now, the last thing that I will say in terms of just communicating is be mindful just in general of when you're emailing me or texting me. It won't bother me by any means, but I may not get back right away. I just became a father 4 days ago as of creating this video for you. So if you text me, say at 9 o'clock at night, 9:30 at night, I may not get back to you right away. I may not get back to you until the following day. So just be mindful of, when you're asking me questions. My basic rule is try not to text me outside of the 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. window. And with email, you can email me whenever you want, but I may not see it right away because I, as most of us are, am not wedded to my email, but I try to get back as quickly as I possibly can. And I'm flexible in terms of, assignments and deadlines if I need to be, if something really, really comes up. But just be in touch. All right, so for our class, and this is the case for basically all Berkeley online classes, the deadline is Saturday. That will be consistent. So for each week, Saturday at midnight. So go into each week knowing that you'll have a certain reading assignment. You'll have a discussion board for basically every week. One of my personal recommendations is to not put off the discussion boards. It makes it way more difficult to get the full points. On an average week, this might change from time to time depending on the week, but on an average week, we'll be writing on each discussion board 3 times. All right, so you're writing your main answer to the question, whatever it is that week. You get 60 points maximum for that part of it. And then you are going through the other responses to the question, and you're responding to 2 of them. So you get 20 points for each response. And in order to get the maximum, you have to do something more than saying something like "I agree" or "I disagree." You have to add something to the conversation. Ideally, the discussion boards feel like a conversation. We are online, we are not meeting in a classroom, so the discussion boards are our chance to have a back and forth. We can ask questions, we can come up with opposing viewpoints. We don't have to agree on certain things, and that is fine. In fact, as we talk to each other, we will find out that we do not agree on certain things. And that's a good thing. Because that means that we're a community. We're not just all saying the exact same thing. We all have different experiences and different thoughts. So this class is essentially going to be set up into 3 sections. So section number 1 is going to be on memoirs. We will talk a lot about what a memoir is and how it can be written. But the basic idea is that a memoir is a personal essay. We are going to read a bunch of different examples. Michelle Obama's Becoming is a great example. We'll actually take a look at that one and how it's written. So there are a lot of memoirs in the world. We'll go through a couple of them, and all of the readings will be pretty short. They're just meant to give you an example of what they can look like. And then we are going to use those memoirs as models for writing our own. So that's basically the first unit. And it will produce a memoir of about 4 to 5 pages. So we'll choose a moment in our lives that is important. It can be whatever you want, as long as it means something to you. And then we will write the stories based off of that experience. Now, the second unit is going to be a little bit different than what we might be used to. It is going to be on social media, technology, and machines. All right, so for me, if we're thinking about writing in 2020, we have to think about machines and robots and social media. So much of our information is taken from social media networks and platforms, right? I think for a lot of us on a daily basis, we get our news not just from, reading the New York Times, but from looking at Twitter and Facebook and all these different forms of social media, and they're shaping the way we understand the world. So we're going to think about the relationship between reading and writing. This is a confident writer course after all, and technology. And one of the things we'll be doing, we might watch some movies during this unit. I already have the movie Her waiting for us if you watched it. It's a really weird movie, but sort of a wonderful movie about technology and social media and how it connects to writing and humanity. So the second unit on social media and technology won't produce a long paper. It won't produce a 4 to 5 page paper. It's going to produce basically a 2 to 3 page position paper. I will give you a question and you will announce your position. And it will be one that answers that question. And we'll talk about that once we get into unit 2. So unit 1 with the memoir, paper of about 4 to 5 pages. That's the kind of culminating project, the end project of that unit. And then for the second unit on social media technology, we're really only writing a short paper of about 2 to 3 pages. And I'll let everyone know how to sort of write it, how to format it, stuff like that. Then the third unit is going to be a longer paper. Again, it's going to be our final paper. So it will produce a paper of about 4 to 5 pages, and this is going to be research-based. It's going to be an advocacy paper. Now, in an advocacy paper, basically, you are going to use your research to advocate for something, push for something, right? This can be something like stronger gun restrictions, or some sort of, it can be a law, it can be some sort of argument about culture in general, it's kind of up to you. I'm not going to spoon feed you. I'm not going to give you a topic. I will give you examples just to kind of help you out. But for the advocacy papers, really the only two topics that are off limits are no one can write about the legalization of marijuana. I cannot read any more papers about it. Can't handle it. Can't do it. So no one can argue about that. No one can argue about school uniforms. So many of us have written on that topic in some form or another. So we're getting rid of those two. And the other one I'm going to add, no one can write about the legalization of gay marriage. And it's just because I've read so many papers on it, I can't do it, so we'll search for others. But other than those three, everything is more or less on the table. We will research the topic of our choice, and we'll come up with an advocacy paper announcing some argument, some idea, some position on that topic, whatever it is. And that is it. That's all I wanted to kind of let everyone know early on. And I know this video is about 10, 11 minutes long, but this is a way to hopefully give everyone a bunch of information about this course and what it's going to look like, because I think that is going to make things easier going forward. All right, that's it for me. If anything comes up, send me an email or message me through Canvas. Either of those are fine. Or sign up for the text messaging. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. It is super, super fast. And there are instructions, again, at the top of the homepage on Canvas. And also, if you go into the week 1 modules, there are directions on there as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting to meet everyone, even if only virtually, and to getting to kind of see what everyone thinks about all of this information about 2020, social media, technology, and just storytelling in general. So keep in touch, and the course is basically starting more or less now.